Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie and this is Unity Consciousness. I'm so glad you stopped by today. We'll be discussing the energy that will begin tomorrow, the 11th of July, and move through the weekend. As a matter of fact, we're probably already starting to feel some of this energy. I have to say, feeling energy in advance and knowing that this energy is pretty powerful. There is a triple conjunction on the 31st of this month between Mars, the North Node, and planet Uranus that you may be feeling as well. It's very prickly energy. It's almost like you know that there's going to be a big change. You're not quite sure what it is, but you're feeling the instability of it, and that is absolutely what I'm immersed in today. It can feel a little bit scattered or prickly. I call it kind of like prickly energy. So if you feel that, just know that that's probably the energy of that triple conjunction creeping in. It is extremely powerful. It is not common. As a matter of fact, highly uncommon. And a lot of astrologers have been speaking of this triple conjunction for quite some time. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's start with this week's energy. On Tuesday, we have the second of three Pluto return hits for the United States natal chart. We've talked about this before, so I don't want to get into it too much. However, this is the deep dive into Capricorn energy as it relates to the United States of America, top-down authority, and the rewriting of that entity, the United States of America, for the purpose of transformation. So some of the systems that are up for review, destruction, and reconstruction would be the economy. What is the United States of America, geographically speaking, as well as the peoples and the underlying understanding of what brings those peoples together? Again, economics, politics, government systems, values of the people, and how that's reflected as a collective of people, and how that control, if there is any, how it's exerted. So that's all up for grabs. The second hit is on Tuesday, and the final hit is in December, because this is Pluto. It is very underlying energy, but powerful energy. It's with us for quite some time, so it is like the overall theme of a situation with all these other minor things popping up along the way that eventually make this massive transformation. So again, this is the second hit. First hit was in February, and the third hit is going to be in December. It doesn't mean there's going to be this massive change between now and December. There could be some changes relative to those systems, but it does take quite a while for these transformations to come up, be reviewed, be destroyed, and then rebuilt. So anyway, that is on Tuesday. On Wednesday, which is the 13th, I believe, is the star of this week's energy. That is going to be a super full moon in the sign of Capricorn at 21 degrees. Full moons always give us endings to things that no longer resonate with whatever the energy is of that moon. There's emotional intensity because the moon is all about emotions, and because it's in the sign of Capricorn, it's our sense of responsibility or our independence, and things that occur that that create an emotional outward manifestation of something that we know that has to change. And the dwarf planets and some of the inner planets, but mostly dwarf planets, and also because of this triple conjunction coming up, we have some significant instability when it comes to geomagnetics. And so that solar flares, earth events, earthquakes, tectonic plate shifts, tidal waves, tsunamis, blah, blah, blah. So just be aware. I've been watching the USGS stats for tectonic plate shifts, and they're an uptick in that, but they're low level. Just know that's something that we may be seeing from now till the end of the month, and actually into the month of August as well. So let's break down that the super full moon in Capricorn. This moon is going to be the closest to the Earth, so it's going to appear big in the sky, but it also means it's going to have a little bit more intensity for us as people that inhabit the Earth. And the moon is very close. Moon in Capricorn, of course, is very close to Pluto, which is now retrograde. So at the time of this full moon, it's us being able to separate ourselves from that which we have no control over. Capricorn has this need to control, and because it's so close to Pluto and the light's being shown on Cancer, which is, again, it's an opposition, that's what makes it a full moon, we are learning how to separate ourselves from that which we have no control over, and that's extremely powerful in itself, but that's very transformational, which is all Pluto. Then we've got Neptune at 25 degrees of Pisces is going to sextile that moon in Capricorn and trine the sun. So what does this mean? So Neptune, I do like Neptune. This is very positive energy, and it's cultivating faith and hope, and transforming that into some kind of magical outcome. So I love that. I mean, really, truly very hopeful energy. And Neptune is retrograde, so there could be some clarity that comes in here, because it's trying the sun, that has to do with your I am, or who you are as an individual. Then we've got Uranus, which is at 18 degrees of Taurus, is going to sextile Mercury and also the sun, which is very close to Mercury, and trine the moon, which is in Capricorn. What does all that mean? This is personal breakthroughs via communications, because Uranus is involved. There could be some communications that come through to you or from you, and that could be verbal communications, it can be text messages, it could be emails, subliminal messages for that matter. This is Uranus here, that catapult you, that it's going to just throw you completely forward, to a more evolved sense of being, because Uranus is involved here. And by doing that, you're going to be attracting people and circumstances to you that resonate with that higher level of, or higher evolved sense of being. That's very cool, in my opinion. And Uranus is here, so if circumstances or people don't measure up to that higher evolved sense of being that you're at, you are just fine letting them go. Because Uranus is square Saturn, you're going to be able to take responsibility for the circumstances, sort through it, and those things that no longer resonate with you, you'll be able to just let go of it. You can be centered in heart-centered consciousness and know your truth, but recognize now what needs to go in order for you to attain that higher level of evolution. At that same time, actually, the energy is there, and it perfects on Thursday, but the energy will certainly be strong during the full supermoon. Neptune, which is retrograde, is going to square Venus in Gemini. And there's a dichotomy here, because at that same time, it's going to, Neptune retrograde is going to, Venus is going to be trining Saturn in Aquarius. So what does all that mean? That's the dichotomy. You've got Venus is going to square Neptune, and Venus is going to trine Saturn. So that in itself is delayed gratification, and Venus square Gemini is like the complete opposite of it. So what does that mean for you in that dichotomy? To me, this speaks about, it does talk about the dichotomy of delayed gratification, and reaping the rewards of that delayed gratification, stepping back to understand the bigger picture, right? You're taking responsibility, you're going to take a break, step back, use that Saturn energy, and take a look at the bigger picture. But because you're getting some rewards for that, you want more and you want it now. So there's our dichotomy there. And you'll want to overindulge in this energy, but truly the best thing to do is appreciate the delayed gratification and the fact that you can take a step back and look at the greater picture in the situation, regardless of the uncertainty that you feel. I could see where some vulnerabilities are going to crop up to the surface here with all of that energy, and that dichotomy of energy, I should say, that's going to expose some vulnerabilities here relative to, money or relationships. But be confident. Be confident. You may feel uncertain, but there is stability in there because we do have Saturn involved. So there's long-term stability. Just run with it. Run with it. Allow yourself to feel that uncertainty, but root yourself in that uncertainty. Know that through the way out of many, many, many things is rooting yourself in uncertainty and recognizing that you don't have to know everything in order to make your way through. So overall, that's all I have for this week, but overall, let's kind of summarize what we've got here. This is a pretty intense super full moon in Capricorn. That is going to be emotional. There's no doubt about that. It is setting us up for that triple conjunction at the end of the month between Mars North Node and Uranus, planet Uranus. This we could really truly feel with the Neptunian energy here. We got the Venus energy. We've got Uranus. We've got a lot going on, but needless to say, that is leaps of consciousness. Uranus is involved in a very positive way here. Leaps of consciousness and understanding that you are the creator of your universe, a co-creator, by the way. You are creating with the universe an outcome of a situation, and having the intellect to know what that means now. You're breaking free of the stigmas of yesterday. You're going to just crush any generational conditioning using that Plutonian energy and where it sits very, very near that full moon, and living from the inside out. We can break through that generational conditioning and understand that if we want to create a better now, we have to do so from the inside out. Center ourselves in heart-centered consciousness and create an outcome that equals that, and allow Saturn to root for us long-term stability. Even though we may be casting aside some things that no longer serve us, we do have a sense of responsibility and independence at the time of this full moon, but we also understand how we are the co-creator, and that there are certain circumstances, be it people or circumstances, that need to go so that we can become more aligned with who and where we should be. It's big, this is big. Really big. We are definitely going from 3D to 5D levels of consciousness. And when you make conscious choices at that five-dimensional level that align personally with that heart-centered energy, and you let the things go that no longer resonate, again, tapping into that Plutonian energy, it is time for a personal revolution, and time for you to understand the depth of who you are and how that you can create an outward manifestation of what's on the inside, and that's heart-centered consciousness. Well, that's all I have for you this week. If you like this video, please do click the like button. If you would like to know when videos are being dropped, subscribe, and you will definitely know when videos are being dropped. And if you know someone that can be helped, please do share this video with them. Any comments or suggestions, post them in the comment section below. Be aware of the geomagnetics, the unstable geomagnetics. This is not to make anyone fearful, not at all. Astrology is nothing more than a forecast, much like the weather forecast. If it's going to rain, you grab your raincoat. If you know it's going to be a challenging energy day, you recognize the fact that it's not all on you. You take what's yours and you leave the rest for somebody else. Have a great week. Namaste.